Baba Amos Wilson, Dr. Amos Wilson, for me, in these last 2 to 3 years is my premier scholar, I would say. Um, really woke me up and really guided me on that path to understand what it truly meant to study African history. Um, he has a famous quote dealing with true nationalism. And he says true nationalism, takes his tradition, this African tradition, and puts it into context. That true nationalism doesn't take tradition just for tradition's sake and say, oh, well, just because this happened back then, I'm gonna do this. But more so takes his history into context to see how it can be productive to him in his economical, socio-political, and his family structure as it refers to the 21st century. So Amos Wilson, I think, is, for me, the guy that I go to whether I'm traveling or, I'm just sitting down, chilling, whether it's Blueprint to Black Power, African Consciousness versus New World Order, Falsification of African Consciousness, Black Genius. He has a bunch of titles that I really cling to. That is phenomenal works on what it really means to not only study African history, but to understand your context in which you're in, and not just take something from just, and I believe he's one of those guys that said, hey, I know we want to be, Pan-Africanist, and I know we want to, do this and do that for our people, but it's contradictory if we, scream African, African consciousness, Black Power, right hand, by the way, and we go outside and then everything else is owned by another people, right? We built the pyramid. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, I built the pyramid. Now what? He was a guy that really challenged the minds of those, everybody who listened to him. And he called for a sense of urgency. And not only a sense of urgency, but an urgency for the census. He called for urgency for you to change and control your environment, what you smell, what you drink, what you see, what you take, what everything that you hear, your music, he hit on it all. He really opened my eyes to not only the census, but also to organization. He said that power and the resources to which power brings is void of itself if you don't have organization. He does a thorough study on the UNIA and the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, all of these real revolutionary groups and organizations that has done a lot for us in the diaspora, and abroad. So.